Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I am Randy, and I am here to give you all of that amazing Survivor dish. So, this season is on a roll. It is full steam ahead. And episode after episode, it keeps upping itself. This episode is not any different. Other than TV, I have been trying to see as many new movies that have come out this year. So far, I'm at 18. That might sound like a lot, but I feel like I need to pick up the pace because there are so many movies coming out every week, maybe like 5 to 6 movies every week. This past week I saw Protector with Mila Jovovich, which I gave a 3 out of 5 stars. That day I also saw Undertone, which I gave a 3.5 out of 5 stars. The following day, I saw Hoppers, which is a really cute family Disney Pixar movie. And I give that movie 4 stars. And then lastly, I saw Slanted, which I give 4.5 stars to. I have only seen in all of these movies once, so I'm giving myself the room to adjust my ratings after another viewing or two. But as of right now, that's kind of what I'm watching and what I'm doing when I'm not obsessing and mulling over this season of Survivor. Other things that I'm watching right now on TV, aside from Survivor, DTF St. Louis with Linda Cardellini and Jason Bateman. David Harper from Thunderbolts and Stranger Things is in it, and basically he's dead. But the way the show is organized, like, we see him in his life leading up to his death, and then of course like the aftermath of the detectives trying to solve the murder. And the reason it's called DTF is because that's kind of like what it is centered around, with David Harper and Jason Bateman's character kind of talking about their marriages being lackluster and like their sex department. And there's this app with other, like, married people that are down to fuck. And so it's a really good show. The pacing of it and like the way it's organized is, to me, it feels different and unique. Like, of course this has been done before, but for whatever reason this show, the way that they're doing it, is really like hitting home for me, because I was okay with episode 1, and then episode 2 I really needed to like take my time to sit through and watch. Like, I tried to put it on and like I was just too anxious, or I just couldn't be in the present moment, and I kept trying to do other things and I didn't get into it. But I went back and rewatched it, and episode 2 really hooked me into this series. And yeah, it just really made everything kind of like line up for me, and I'm excited to see what is happening. I mean, so the way the whole show is going so far, it's like almost like it's just telling you Jason Bateman killed this guy. But my theory is that he didn't. Well, he says that in this episode, and I think Linda Cardellini is the one who did it. But we'll see. So let's go ahead and get into Survivor. So I really, really feel confident in saying that this episode of Survivor has to be like my favorite episode ever of all time. And I I'm willing to bet that this season is going to be my favorite season of all time. It's just so good. So much happens. So let's get into it. At the very beginning of the episode, we get the aftermath of Sela having gone to tribal 2 times in a row. We get the celebration of Rick Devens and Ubiki, as Jeff is famously calling him. They get tree mill, and they kind of hypothesize that there's going to be a swap. So Christian kind of creates this plan, including Devens in on it, where they're going to go to Suri and Emily and tell them Devens found this idol, and that he, tell them about the Billie Eilish boomerang idol and what it does, where basically, they have to give it to someone else. And they want to tell them that Aubrey has the idol. They want them to be aware of this. Suri buys it hook, line, and sinker. Done deal. Nothing, no issues there. Then Devens is telling us how time is winding down and it's getting time for them to leave camp to go to this thing that they are thinking is the swap. And they can't get Emily alone. They can't tell Emily. And this is important for this entire episode. So we see them at the swap, which it is a swap, and they all drop their buffs. Jeff sings again. He raps. This rap was, it was a white dad rap, which I'm here for. If you know me, you know I'm here for that. It was less cringe than the chicken and waffles to me, the second time around. But he raps to reveal the dropping the buffs and the whole swap, that we voted for a swap. And right before they actually swap, Christian tells Emily really quickly about the idol that was given to Aubrey, or that Aubrey has an idol. And Emily is kind of left dumbfounded. She's like, why are you telling me this right now as we're about to swap? We're literally on the mat about to swap. You've known this. Why haven't you told me before? And I think rightly so, that gives her some pause. Of course, me being so in love with Christian, I don't want anything to get in his way. I want to see Christian every episode of this season, all the way into the end. So there's that little hiccup there that happens. So even though it was hard to watch, this episode brought us some really great moments from some of my favorite survivors, including Chrissy Kaufbeck. We see her in the new Callow tribe, and we see that Coach and Joe are bonding, of course, over honor and integrity. And of course, Colby gets roped into that conversation. We see this trio, and then all of a sudden it becomes 4 people with Chrissy. Like, they're kind of all coming together in this alliance, and they're walking in the woods, and Coach is like, hey, Chrissy, but, like, I just need you to, like, I want to tell you, like, kind of... She's like, what, do you want me to go talk to the other people in the tribe? He's like, no, like, just kind of... She's like, oh, no, I'm good. She's like, yeah, but, like, at the other tribe before the swap, like, you were, like, talking a lot, and, like, the other people were getting annoyed. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she breaks down. There were so many funny jokes about this online, about how people were saying, if Benjamin Coach Wade is telling you that you're doing too much, no one, you're gonna break down too. But she's emotional at camp, and Genevieve and Aubrey see this, and they kind of ask her about it, and she's like, let's go have a girl talk. They talk on the beach, and Chrissy's just talking about how she feels like no matter what, or when she's out here on Survivor, people don't like her. It's just like, why does she put herself in this situation? She has an amazing life. Why is she doing this to herself? And the 3 women kind of bond there. But from there, we get Genevieve going off to everyone, making connections, talking to them about her experience on Vatu, specifically with Aubrey, and how she doesn't like Aubrey, she doesn't trust Aubrey, and they shouldn't trust her either. Oh my God, I was crushed. I love Aubrey so much. I don't want to see her on the outs. And then, we're getting this montage of Genevieve telling Coach, telling Colby, telling everyone and their dog, as she puts it. And the last person we see her talking to is Tiffany. And Tiffany's like, I like Aubrey. And then they're talking. She tells Aubrey everything Genevieve is telling her. And she basically comforts her when she's about to cry, because she's confirming her suspicions that Genevieve is out to get her. And they hug, they really bond. And Tiffany ends up telling her, if you want Genevieve out, I want Genevieve out. Even though Genevieve is in my draft, Aubrey is my girl. Just like with Christian, just like with Chrissy, just like with Angelina. Like, I want these 4 people to make it to the end. Same thing with Serene. 5 people, I should say. So there's that little bit that happens. We also get a teary moment from our girl Angelina. Well, she is on the new tribe with Emily. And Emily goes to Q and Stephanie and Ozzy and tells them, because she's on that tribe with Christian. She tells them she's mad at Christian. She doesn't trust him. He randomly told me that Aubrey has an idol on the mat. So now she's given the enemy some valuable information that pissed me off. That's my girl Aubrey. Come on, Emily, really? Later she does go back to Christian and apologize, because she's talking with Stephanie and Q, and she tells us, I'm realizing I'm just along for the ride. They're driving this and I'm just here in the back seat. So she's like, maybe I shouldn't have kind of invested in that as much as I did. And she goes back to Christian, apologizes. This is another hilarious Hubicki moment where Christian is expressing his frustrations about her doing this. He's like, I whispered it in there for a reason. But him being the amazing, wholesome, wholehearted individual that he is, he's like, I'm not going to hold it against her. I'm going to move on. And you know that is, he's speaking from his core. Like, he really is not going to hold it against her. And he is going to move on. We get a moment from Dee. Dee is our only winner left in the game, and she's coming for Suri. She is talking with Jonathan, someone else I want gone, with her, and they're talking about how they love Suri, but they can't keep her because of that love, because that's all her game, that people just love her. She's so likable, and before you know it, she's made her way to the end of the game. And at this point, Suri making her way at the end of the game is going to guarantee her winning. I do not like this for Suri, of course, but hopefully something will work out in the mix. Because as far as I'm seeing, Suri has Christian, Devins, Emily, Ozzy, and then now, as we're about to get into, coming along with Christian, Angelina and Mike. So when we get to that tribe has, well, it's the same tribe. It's the tribe that was with Emily, Q, Stephanie, and I don't even know who the other person is now. It's just so many people. But the other side of that tribe with Christian, he has his David and Goliath people. As crazy as that is, he ended up on the same tribe with Angelina and Mike. They all played on the same season together, and they are all seemingly like this. Okay, so I haven't even gotten to Angelina's moment where she cries. So yeah, like when Q and Stephanie are talking to Emily about the status of this new tribe that they're in, they're like, well, in our old tribe, we were going to vote off Angelina first, and now here that we're with us and we have this alliance, will almost be a blessing if we lose, because we can just get rid of her. And Emily just tells her this directly, and they really bond over it. They hug each other kind of like in a secret way, and it was just a really sweet, raw, authentic moment. And Emily even tells that to Angelina, because obviously Emily is being very forthright, as Angelina notates that is what Emily is known for. So, she tells her everything. And she really is able to sell her on this because of her authenticity. And she says that this is a genuine connection that she has with Angelina, and she wants to play with her. She wants to keep her in the game. So much like Tiffany telling Aubrey she wants to keep her in the game, I'm just so happy that not only, like, well, yeah, bad things are happening to these players, but in the same episode, we're getting something that seems like they have a way out of it. The last real, like, kind of player tribe juice that we get is this moment. I think it's the Kahlo tribe. It's a tribe with Charlie and Rizzo. No, it's a tribe with Suri. So that has to be the new Sela tribe. Yeah. And there's this moment at night at camp where they're talking to Rizzo about 49, and he tells them that Sophie B was his best friend. Was it Blue Soph? Soph. And so they're like, oh, you voted for her at the end. He's like, no, I voted for Savannah. I always said that I would come out here and I would take my emotion out of it, and I would vote for who I thought deserved to win. And we get a close-up of Charlie's face. And in his confessional, he's telling us, that pissed me off. I don't like that. That's what happened to me in my season, and that's how I lost. So he doesn't deserve to be on the jury, and I want to get him out as soon as possible. So there's this whole thing between Rizzo and Charlie. Rizzo is probably thinking he's good with Charlie because there is another scene where he's telling him about the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol and how it works. But other than that, we just get the tribal immunity challenge, and Sela finally wins their first tribal. But sadly, I think it's Vatu loses. They have to go to tribal, and that tribe has Christian, Ozzy, and one other person that has just consistently been going to tribal. They're a part of that original Sela tribe that has been going. I think is it Suri? I think it's Suri. But yeah, inevitably, Q, Stephanie, and Ozzy were hoping to get Emily be their fourth and vote out Suri, where Emily ends up turning Ozzy on them, and they all vote out Q. So Q was voted out, and he was blindsided. It's my first draft pick hit, and I love Q, but if it was between Q and Suri, it's gonna be Q. Sorry, Q, I love you. But I cannot wait until next episode. Like, this is episode 3, and I'm already proclaiming that it's my favorite episode of all time of Survivor. So Lord knows what we have in store for us for the rest of the season. Thank you for tuning into the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you back next week. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and make sure you do something that you love.